Russia is back in the doping scandal spotlight following the release of Part 2 of the McLaren report. The extended investigation by Canadian lawyer Richard McLaren backed up his earlier findings of alleged state-sponsored cheating, but included a number of fresh accusations.
We are now able not only to confirm the findings of the first report, but also to put them into sharper and clearer focus. A cover-up that evolved over the years from uncontrolled chaos to an institutionalized and disciplined medal-winning strategy and conspiracy. A cover-up that operated on an unprecedented scale.
He said they had analysed samples from Russian athletes and found, for example, the wrong DNA in them so that it was clear that they came from someone else. Added salt, for example, and altogether he said that 1,000 Russian athletes were either involved or implicated. It corroborates, he says, what Grigory Rodchenkov, the former head of the Russian anti-doping laboratory, said, Rusada. The original allegations we know came from him, and the emails that McLaren says prove state involvement come from Rodchenkov's computer. Now, these are going to be heavily analysed by the Russian side in the coming days and weeks. They, of course, see Rodchenkov as highly suspect. He's a man who admits that he switched samples in the laboratory, and the Russian side is suspicious that, in fact, he's trying to shift responsibility from himself onto the government and the FSB. And, of course, we know he's facing criminal proceedings for abuse of authority in Russia.
Russia has denied allegations that doping in the country is systematically state-sponsored. The country's sports minister also denied there's an institutional conspiracy. He said Moscow is investigating any possible crimes committed by Grigory Rodchenkov, who is McLaren's main source of information. We heard from some of Russia's top athletes on the findings.
It's difficult to talk about banning all Russian athletes. If we apply this rule to them, it should be applied to all foreign athletes as well. We know that many of them have a record of doping but still perform in international competitions.
There is something that confuses me in this report. For example, scratches on bottles containing samples. When I had my drugs test, I saw the bottle and I have no idea how someone could open it illegally because of their special design.
This horror story is made for European and American people. There is no need for facts, as usual.
Well, Russia says it's taking the accusations very seriously. Just last month, criminal liability was extended to trainers and doctors for any form of assistance in doping cases. Previously, a number of athletes testified that lab director Rodchenkov had encouraged them to take performance-enhancing drugs. The head of the country's independent anti-doping commission called the report out of date due to the steps taken and progress made since the first report was released back in the summer. Moscow then established an independent anti-doping commission and separated its anti-doping agency, Rusada, from its sports ministry. Penalties for doping offences have also increased. But a conversation overheard at a recent WADA meeting revealed there's apparent prejudice still towards Russian athletes. Here's part of the discussion between the head of the World Anti-Doping Agency and its Director General.
It's good to say we're working with Russia, but don't give the impression that we're Russian. No.
The neutral David Walsh.
We're not desperate for them to come back. They come back if they do the right thing.
Coming right up, a documentary exposing the horrors of genocide in Uganda. Stay with us.